Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos? What are they all about? Well, Let's Build video, I take a model kit and I show you how to put it together. If there's areas of concern, as in things are numbered different on the sprue as they are to the instructions, I'll let you guys know. If there's anything on the piece that you're trying to take off the sprue that needs to stay, it could be a little pin or something like that. You know, it looks like it should come off, but it should actually stay. I'll let you guys know. If you suffer dyslexia or just struggle with social general, this is a visual aid to help you. If you're interested in models for an army that you have or that you're thinking of collecting but don't know how difficult they are to build, again, this is just a visual aid to help you. However, as you would have seen from the thumbnail, this is a Kitbashed Let's Build. So what is that? What does that mean? When you kitbash a model, you basically take parts from other models and you cobble them together, without me hitting piece of plastic there, cobble them together to make a brand new model. Okay, so for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. So before I start going through my parts I'm going to thinking of using and what I'm going to try and kitbash, you would have seen from the thumbnail anyway. Tools needed as always, mold-line scraper. Now you can use a surgical blade or some sort of sharp blade. If you're using a sharp blade, just be careful because it's sharp. Let everyone in the house know you're using a sharp blade so nobody scares you by accident. Make sure there's no cats around and little hands around. Clippers, most useful part of our kit. I do have a sanding sponge, which is basically foam with sandpaper beside. Very, very handy, especially with chains and pipes and stuff. Now we're going to be trying to do everything with plastic, so it's a plastic glue. I do have super glue at hand just in case. You would have seen from the thumbnail, I'm going to try and kitbash a Warpsmith today. So this is the actual Warpsmith model. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to try and kitbash one of these today. Now I've got loads of different parts here. The first most important thing I need to start with, let me run you through what I've got. This is a Chaos Space Marine Legionaries sprue with bits left over. I'm more interested in the body part. There's two body parts there, so I'm more interested in those parts. I don't see any plasma pistols here, but I'm more interested in those parts anyway. But there's a nice flamer there as well. Might squeeze that on there somehow. This is the other half of the Chaos Legionary sprue. So you've got plasma gun, you've got power maul, which is very interesting. I'm more interested in shoulder pads for this particular piece. But there's a bolt pistol there, which could be interesting as well, because he's armed with a hand flamer, a bolt pistol, and a plasma pistol. And he gets to shoot all of them in the shooting phase, which is nice. This is a Sisters kit, leftover parts of a Sisters sororitas kit. And what was I interested in this one for? I think it was more interested in pistols. I think. But I've got it in my hand anyway, so if I need something off it, I do. If I don't, then I don't. This is from the Lord / Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armor. These are all the bits left over. So you've got Chain Fist, which is absolutely amazing. The Chain Fist or the Power Fist? I actually think it's just a Power Fist, to be honest with you. We've got two Lightning Claws, which I'm not going to need today. We've got a front part of Terminator armor, lovely shoulder pad, which is nice. There is some cool details like the helmet, the little book, the little minion. But I was more interested in this, the staff, of using it as like a hammer, because the Warpsmith model comes with his forge hammer. So I was thinking about maybe using that as a hammer. It's still, still not 100% sure on that yet. This is leftover bits from the bloke drones sprue. I'm more interested in these tentacle pieces. If I can rig them up somehow to his backpack and maybe this little claw armor stuff, and give him to give him his tentacles coming around. Now, at the same time I was saying it, I was also thinking about the Canaptic Wraiths box sprue, shall I say, because they can be armed with whipping coils, I think they're called, but I didn't put them on my guys, so they're still floating around on the sprues in the big box behind me. But as always, you have to have somewhere to start. So here is a body. This is why I'm interested in those other front body pieces, to see if I can put them on. I think this arm goes this side, and the backpack obviously is for the back of him. So I'm going to snip those 3 pieces off, clean them down, and I'm going to glue them together, and then we're going to go back to the body, see what we can do with that. Right, so I haven't glued this on yet, but this goes on here. But what I need to do is I need to check to see if the arm with the thing I might use as a hammer goes on this side or that side. But that's a small problem, not to worry about. Now I've got these 2 bodies off, and I tried to give them a little dry fit. Now they go on there nicely, okay, but there's so much of a gap at the back there. This one is even worse because the cloak comes to the side. Now I could cut the cloak off, but look, you see that one might look okay with what I have planned next, because there's one nice. I'm going to make him Nurgle based. Obviously, he's got a little Nurgle symbol in there, and because this body part, I believe, come on the in the combat patrol box, but on the same sprue as Poxwalkers. So I don't know why he's on there. I couldn't tell you, but he was on the sprue because I see Poxwalker body part on there. So I know that's meant to be Poxwalkers. But with that in mind, I'm thinking if I put hot glue in the bottom here, just fill it with hot glue, whichever I take, say this one, and I put plastic glue on the top here. So the plastic glue will glue it in at the top, okay, but then the hot glue will pour it underneath, so it'll look like a big bloated belly. I think this one sits on more nicer though, gives me less of a bit either side. Yeah, so the belly coming out there is going to make it look like it's all bloated up. So this piece is on nicer on the front there, so I don't know. But the only thing is, this corner piece, this piece here is where the arms meant to go on. But as you can see, when that lines up there, there's a slot for arm there. It's not a big issue in the day, because wherever I put in there, I can also put the shoulder pod over the top of it and cover it if I need to. But anyway, I'm going to have a little think about this. I'm going to clean these 2 pieces down anyway, and I'm going to come back with an idea. Right, so I did actually find a few Death Guard pieces, because I think the initial body is Death Guard by the looks of it, and it came on a Poxwalker sprue, but they wouldn't fit. They were too cumbersome. So I'm going to go with this piece. Now I've got the hot glue gun firing up, so I'm going to glue that in there like so. But you've got the gap at the bottom. There's going to be belly hanging out the bottom there. So none of you have ever used a hot glue gun before. Just bring it over so I can show you. This is what it looks like. There's glue coming out the top. Glue stick in the top, and it heats it up and turns it to liquid glue. Oh my goodness me, total destruction in here. So I'm going to whack some hot glue on that for now. And I'm going to whack some plastic glue across the top here. I've got to act really fast because the hot glue will dry quickly. I take this piece and I put it in there like so. It's not done the way that I want it to. I think this grenade is hindering me a little bit. Right, don't worry about these wispy bits for now, because we can sort them out afterwards. I say sort them out afterwards, I've just pulled them off now. Use clippers to trim them down. So like this little bit here, this horrible bit, I'm going to clip that out of it. Now, what I wanted to do, what I've done, hasn't quite worked because it isn't bulging out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to destruct the place again. I'm going to take the model over to the hot glue is. I'm just going to drop a little bit more hot glue into it, into that gap, and the same on the other side. I'm going to bring back and show you in a second now before I start dropping everything everywhere. So now this looks a lot better. What I'm going to do is get a lolly stick, just try and push that into that gap. Just smooth that over. You don't want to pull it in and twirl it because you're not going to get the effect that I'm looking for, so I wouldn't do that. Now I'm going to come in the clippers and just trim the excess off. So now we have a horrible bit of glue here, which I need to actually get rid of that. That's not going to come off, so I'm just going to leave that. So far looking so good. Let me just unplug that bad boy, otherwise they keep burning the glue down. Now I was looking at this staff to use, to use as an axe. The only problem with this is the arm for it. Okay, knocking the camera again, and it's going to go on this side. Whereas if you look at the original guy, it's on the other side. That's not a big issue because I've been looking at most of the guns, and most of the guns are for this side. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to snip this sorcerer's staff. It's a Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator. I'm going to snip his staff off, snip the hand off. I'm going to glue that into a little hole. There should be a little pin. Yeah, and then I'm going to come back when that's glued and ready to go. Right, so let's put it together. So before I glue that onto him, I need to start looking at putting him on the base. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have this size base around, this weird oval shape, great, fantastic, work away. But I didn't, so I had to cut one. Now, here's the moment of truth. The way I cut it is I put this on the foam board. Put this model on the foam board, and then I drew around it, and then I got the blade, put it in, and just slowly turned to give me one little indentation on the foam, and then went through again a bit harder, and a third time harder, until eventually I got to the point where I was able to pop it out. So here's the moment of truth. It's almost perfect. It's a little bit over that side, but that's cool. Doesn't matter if it's slightly off. So now what I need to do with this, some proper sandpaper, this is fine grit, and all I have to do is come around and try and just do this. Essentially, keep turning the base around as I'm bringing it around. So bits like this bit sticking up here, the aim is to try and smooth that down so it's sort of level. It's not, I'm not going to get it perfect, okay, but if I can get it close enough to it as possible. And the other thing I want to do then is give this a little sand down. So when I spray it, undercoat it, the paint will stick to it. So otherwise it'll just run off of this surface. So I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of that. Right, so after sanding it down, I actually super glued into the base to keep it simple so I can pick the base up and mess around with it. Now I'm going to glue this bad boy on. And of course it doesn't want to come out. So after taking a flame to the nozzle of the plastic glue, it decided it's going to release. So now I need to position this on here in a way that's going to make it like stay. So what I'm also going to do is drop a little bit of plastic glue there. It's not going to do much, but it melt the plastic onto the bit itself. Now for the other arm. Now we've got an issue because I can't find a plasma pistol, sorry. This is what he's on with the other side. And I think the other plasma pistols I have, for like the Corn Berserkers and stuff, are for this side. But I did find the sprue for the Warpsmith, which has lovely, like I said, I don't know if you want to use that, has a lovely shoulder pad, and it's a lovely Warpsmith head. So the heads are given, that's going to go in there. But now, I need to start looking at what we're going to do with the other arm. Now I'm thinking maybe something like this. Just keeping it simple, because he's armed with a plasma pistol, a hand flamer, and bolt pistol, I believe. And he's armed with the hammer of the forge, or something like that's called. So putting this on in game terms isn't going to, I think it has a hand weapon as well, but putting this on in games terms isn't really going to do anything. It's just to make the model look nice. And I think if I snip it somewhere just around there, it would slot in there just nicely. So I'm going to snip that off, because this is a spare piece. I'm going to snip that off, and I'm going to see the plasma gun would be okay, but it's got two hands, one holding the gun, one supporting the gun, so it's not going to work. So anyway, I'm going to go with the blade just for a bit of visual look. Right, so dry fitting this guy on, I was going to see like how much I need to cut off. I was thinking of having it like this part up here just above the wrist, but then looking at it, I could actually get away with putting it in like that, because it's going to be a shoulder pauldron going in there. Even though I think that's actually part of a shoulder pauldron there. Anyway, there's going to be a shoulder pauldron going in there, so it's going to cover it up nicely. So I'm going to glue that into place. I'm going to take the head from the actual Warpsmith box, kit, sorry, clean it down, glue that on. I'm going to take this shoulder pad, clean it down, and glue it onto this side to cover both those bits up. And I'm going to come back to you after I've done that. Right, so I also took the shoulder pad from the Chaos Lord Sorcerer bit, because that goes with that arm. And I tell you what, I'm really impressed with it. There are certain parts of it, it looks like a big and chunky and stuff like that. But, to me it looks like, it's a follower of Nurgle obviously, but it looks like his body's starting to bloat in places and push armor panels into weird places that it shouldn't be, and, that type of thing. Now, the hot glue across the stomach, that didn't come out the way I actually wanted it. I wanted it to be like a big belly hanging out of him. But the way it's actually turned out, it's actually just sealed the gap, and it actually makes it look actually fantastic. So here we are. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So to me, this shoulder looks weird and discombobulated, because, in all honesty, because there's a half a shoulder pad there, I didn't realise. I couldn't find the other half, but it looks like it's all bloated out and starting to, bulge out. Same as this side, the shoulder pad looks too big, but it's just bulging out and everything's starting to meld into one. Absolutely savage. Now, the next bit I'm going to use for his tendrils are going to be these coil whips from the Kineptic Wraith box. There's 2 on this sprue and 2 on the other sprue that I have. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and then I'm going to dry fit how they go together, and I'm going to come back and show you what way I'm going to do it and glue them on. I need to be careful with them, because this is going to be loose hanging. So I need to make sure that this bit connects in nicely, and so that it's not one-sided and the model starts to lean to one side, or if it's too much pressure on the model and the model starts leaning backwards, or whatever it is. When I say the model, I mean the base as well, so the base isn't lifted slightly, because there's too much weight on the back. But I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, dry fit them, come back and show you. Right, so I did take this piece off the blow drone kit, and I was looking next to, I was going to use this originally, but I'm looking and I was thinking like something like up on the backpack, something like that. The only problem with that is it looks very silly. There's too many pipes hanging down, it's too big for the model. I just, you know, I know the shoulder pads look a little bit weird, you know, especially the Terminator one, but this looks actually weirder. So I'm going to pass on that idea for a minute. And I think with these coil whips, the best thing to do is take this part here and glue that into something. You know, just, this is just a quick dry fit, something like that. You know, just even just coming over the top, you know, something like that. Just glue all four of them on there in a way that just takes my fancy in, where I can slot it into a little gap. So I'm going to crack on with gluing these four things, little coil whips in, and then I'll come back to you then. Right, so I've decided to leave it with two tendrils coming over. I also took this, let's come down a little bit, spikes out of off that Terminator sprue as well, and glued them in that gap there. Now I think it looks absolutely savage. One thing I'm going to say when you're kit bashing: patience is your friend, okay? Because you've got to remember, you're putting pieces together that shouldn't go together. You're putting them in places where they're not really meant to go. So like this is plastic. So where I'm gluing all this, I'm actually just trying to glue plastic to plastic and just put as much glue onto it as possible, leaving it to cure down. As it's curing, it's melting the plastic, and then coming back and put a little bit more, just make sure it's positioned correctly and everything else. And I think I'm pretty happy with those. Hopefully they stay in position. Now I was thinking about, I think it's Chaos Legionary sprue. There's like a little icon to go on top of the shoulder pads. I don't think I need it. I think that's enough. I think he looks absolutely menacing as hell. The only thing is that spike isn't sitting flat like I want it to. So I'm going to just put a bit more glue on that to give that a bit more of a solid base. Right, so there we are. So any comments or any thoughts about this guy? Chuck and blow as always, guys. If you're new to the channel and seeing this for the first time, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video with more and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. And if you like what you see here and you want to support the channel even further, there is a join button below. If you click on that, it'll take you to a membership page and you can purchase a membership and become a member. Becoming a member gives you loads of different perks. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, because you still can enjoy the videos for free. If you're a member, you'll still enjoy the videos for free, but you'll get extra videos and you'll get, you know, extra perks to do with like what's coming up this week. And depending on what tier you go to, the gold star tier, and I say this every time, there is a free prize giveaway every month on that tier. Now when you look at it, it won't say that because I don't like to advertise a lottery ticket or anything like that giveaway, but that's on there. So guys, any comments below as always, hit the buttons for me. If you're new, consider joining the channel and becoming a member. Until next time guys, thanks for watching, take it easy.